Jazz, it is your 10-year anniversary this week with Laurie. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Can't believe it's been a whole decade
A
that we've been
whole
together.
ass decade. And so much has changed in that time, hasn't it?
Truly. When we first got together, I was 20. I was at uni and we did a lot of like long distance back and forth between different countries. We've lived in different countries. We've been married for a few months now. So
Mhm.
it's funny like celebrating 10 years this month, but like it also feels like a brand new chapter after getting
Yeah,
married.
completely. And I look back to a decade ago, and I feel like what we expect or what we see from relationships has changed so much. I think about the pop culture I'm consuming and the TV shows I'm consuming. Like, of course, heated rivalry, great representation for bi men.
You've also been with Tom for over a decade. You guys were high school sweethearts.
Hmm.
How has that been like going, from high school sweethearts, you've been through so much together to now you're in your mid to late 20s?
Yeah, I feel so lucky that I've been able to grow up with Tom, literally, and we've both been able to grow and change as people together but separately. And we have changed a lot, and that's so normal. I'm not the same person I was at 16. So I feel like checking in with myself, seeing how I'm changing, what interests I'm liking or not liking is really important to me. And that's that introduction to today's sponsor, FEELD.
If you're wondering what FEELD is, it's a dating app for people who are tired of dating apps. It's for people who are craving deeper connection and really wanting to know themselves and to get curious about themselves and their relationships.
And speaking of, they've just released Reflections, which is a guided self-discovery tool that you and I have both done. It's to learn more about yourself as well as your romantic and sexual interests that pertain to yourself, but also with partner or your partners.
Like Maggie said up top, even though we're both in long-term relationships, I still think it's really important to stay curious about yourself, your sexuality, and your relationship in general.
What I loved about doing this reflection was we've done Myers-Briggs, we talk about love languages.
And I'm huge into astrology. Like every single day, I'm on some sort of app, like seeing what the planets are doing and like what that means about my life. So this was
Exactly.
so satisfying to like get deep into like our psyche and our relationship.
It was a good moment of reflection where I actually really had to think critically about like, hey, do I actually like this? Hey, do I not like this? And why?
Yeah.
And you don't really get those chances, I feel.
No, especially when you are in that long-term relationship. Reflections goes through your desires, your boundaries, and your relationships. It was really thought-provoking and definitely made me feel quite introspective and also more in touch with myself.
Yeah, and you know what I love when people talk about sex is that we should be having like sexy chats or like sexy conversations in unsexy environments, like before bedtime happens, right? So I feel like this was a perfect chance to do that. I think we both sent our results to our partners as well, and I'm encouraging mine to also do this reflections. And it's just so nice to be able to bond and to talk about these things openly.
When you get your answers on reflections, it gives you like a scale, like a sliding scale, which I find so satisfying. It gives you percentages of like where you're sitting on this spectrum of relationships. One thing I enjoyed was knowing that like, yes, I'm literally married, but I still was like answering questions like, no, I do want to just be with one partner, but like maybe in the future, like I'm not totally rejecting the ideas of non-monogamy.
I love that. I feel like I would highly recommend our listeners, whether they're single, dating, or partnered, to do this reflections because I think it's just nice to give yourself more insight about yourself and allow yourself to think about your desires in a non-judgmental and safe environment. I also think if you struggle with that direct communication about topics like desire, which can be quite confronting to bring up, I think reflections acts as a really great tool to like pass on feedback to your partner in like a way that is nice to receive.
Yeah, and it's all laid out really neatly and nicely, and like it's so easy to just send a link and just be like, hey, this is like how I'm feeling at the moment, or
Mhm.
this is like what I might want in the future. It was really good.
So if you do want to try reflections for yourself, visit field.co/reflections. That's FEELD, or you can download Field on the App Store or Google Play.
And there's also a link in our show notes where you can click straight through. Thank you, Field, for sponsoring today's episode. And if any listeners try it, we'd love to hear your thoughts. So just send us a DM.